Welcome to our channel where we provide valuable insights on personal finance, business, and startups. In this video, we will discuss the 5 most common financial mistakes that people in their 20s make and how to avoid them. By avoiding these mistakes, you can set yourself up for a better financial future. Before we continue, smash the subscribe button and turn on the notifications. Also, follow us on our Instagram page for more such content. Let's get started. Mistake number 1, not saving for emergencies. Not saving for emergencies is one of the most common financial mistakes that people in their 20s make. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that emergencies won't happen to you or that you'll be able to handle them when they do. But let's face it, life is unpredictable and emergencies happen when you least expect them. Take my friend Tim for example. Tim was a fun-loving guy who loved to live in the moment. He would spend his weekends partying and traveling, never once thinking about saving for emergencies. One day, he got into a car accident and had to pay a huge sum of money for the damages. He was left with no choice but to borrow money from his friends and family. Needless to say, Tim's carefree lifestyle didn't seem so carefree anymore. Not having an emergency fund can really put you in a tough spot when unexpected expenses arise. You might have to sell your belongings or borrow money from your friends and family. And let's be honest, asking your friends and family for money can be awkward and uncomfortable. So, if you don't want to be in a position where you have to ask your friends and family for money, it's important to start saving for emergencies now. You never know when you might need it. As they say, it's better to be safe than sorry. And if that's not enough to convince you, think about it this way: having an emergency fund is like having a superhero in your pocket. When life throws you a curveball, you'll be able to face it head-on without breaking a sweat. So, start saving now and become your own superhero. Mistake number 2, not investing early. Not investing early is a classic financial mistake that many people make in their 20s. You might think that investing is something you can put off until later, but trust me, the earlier you start, the better off you'll be. Let's say you have 2 friends, Joe and Bob. Joe started investing $100 a month in a diversified portfolio of low-cost index funds when he was 22, and he continued to do so until he was 30. Bob, on the other hand, didn't start investing until he was 30, but he also invested $100 a month in the same portfolio. Fast forward to when they're both 60. Joe's investment portfolio has grown to over $300,000 thanks to the magic of compound interest. Bob's portfolio, on the other hand, has only grown to around $160,000, less than half of what Joe's is worth. So, as you can see, not investing early can really come back to bite you in the end. But investing early isn't just important for your financial future, it can also have some unexpected benefits in the present. For example, let's say you're at a party and someone asks what you do for a living. You could say, "Oh, I work a boring office job," or you could say, "I'm a professional investor. I make money in my sleep." Which one do you think sounds cooler? Plus, if you start investing early, you'll have plenty of time to make all the classic investor mistakes: buying high, selling low, and investing in the next big thing that ends up being a total flop. And let's be honest, there's nothing more fun than making a financial blunder that you can laugh about later. So there you have it, invest early, and not only will you set yourself up for a better financial future, but you'll also have some great party conversation starters and plenty of opportunities to make hilarious investing mistakes. Don't say I didn't warn you. Mistake number 3, living beyond your means. Living beyond your means is a financial mistake that many people make, especially in their 20s. It's easy to get caught up in the excitement of being young, having money to spend, and wanting to keep up with friends or social media influencers who seem to have it all. But it's important to remember that overspending can lead to high credit card debt, making it difficult to save for the future. If you find yourself living beyond your means, it's time to take a step back and reevaluate your spending habits. Maybe you don't need to go out for fancy dinners every week or buy a new pair of shoes every month. Perhaps you can save money by cooking at home or buying clothes secondhand. It's all about finding a balance between enjoying life and being responsible with your finances. To help you realize how much you're overspending, let's use a little humor. Imagine you're out with friends and you spot a cute new outfit that you just have to have. But instead of buying it, let's think about what else you could do with that money. You could buy a small island in the Caribbean, or a private jet, or even a unicorn if they existed. Now, of course, those things might be a little out of your budget, but the point is to show how far your money could go if you didn't spend it all on clothes or dining out. It's all about prioritizing your spending and making sure you're not sacrificing your financial future for temporary pleasures. So, next time you're tempted to splurge on something you don't really need, think about what you could be saving that money for. Maybe it's a down payment on a house, a trip around the world, or even retirement. Whatever your financial goals may be, remember that living beyond your means can only set you back, while being responsible with your finances can help you achieve your dreams. And who knows, maybe one day you'll be able to afford that private jet or even that unicorn. Mistake number 4, ignoring your credit score. Ignoring your credit score is like ignoring a giant pimple on your nose. It might seem small and insignificant at first, but if left unchecked, it can grow into a massive, unsightly blemish that you just can't ignore. Your credit score is a reflection of your financial responsibility. It's a 3-digit number that can determine whether or not you'll be approved for a loan, credit card, or even an apartment. Ignoring it is like ignoring a red flag in a relationship. It can lead to disasters down the road. Think of your credit score as your financial reputation. Just like you wouldn't want to be known as the person who shows up late to every meeting or the one who never pays their bar tab, you don't want to be known as the person with a bad credit score. It can follow you around for years, making it difficult to get approved for loans, credit cards, or even jobs. But don't worry, keeping your credit score in good shape doesn't have to be difficult. Just like taking care of your skin to prevent pimples, taking care of your finances can prevent credit score blemishes. Pay your bills on time, keep your credit card balances low, and don't apply for too much credit at once. Ignoring your credit score is like ignoring a ticking time bomb. You might be able to get away with it for a while, but eventually it's going to explode in your face. So, take care of your financial reputation and keep your credit score in check. Your future self will thank you. Mistake number 5, not thinking long term. Let's face it, when you're in your 20s, retirement seems light years away. It's hard to think about something that won't happen for another 40 years, especially when you're still trying to figure out what you want for lunch. But not thinking long term when it comes to your finances can have serious consequences down the line. Sure, it might seem like a good idea to blow your paycheck on a weekend getaway or a new pair of shoes, but what about your retirement fund? Have you ever thought about it? Think about it this way, do you really want to be that person in their 60s who's still working because they didn't save enough money for retirement? Or worse, the person who has to move back in with their parents because they can't afford to live on their own? The key to avoiding these scenarios is to start thinking about your financial future now. Even if you can only contribute a small amount to a retirement account, it's better than nothing. And who knows, maybe in a few years you'll be able to contribute more. Plus, saving for retirement doesn't have to be all doom and gloom. Just think about all the things you'll be able to do once you're retired: to travel the world, pick up a new hobby, binge watch every show on Netflix. It's like a second chance at life. So, the next time you're about to make an impulse buy, think about your long-term financial goals. And if that's not enough to convince you, just remember, you don't want to be the person who has to eat cat food in their old age. Trust us, it's not as delicious as it sounds. And there you have it, the 5 most common financial mistakes to avoid in your 20s. By saving for emergencies, investing early, living within your means, paying attention to your credit score and thinking long-term, you can set yourself up for a better financial future. Don't make the same mistakes that many others have made before you. Thank you for watching, and be sure to subscribe for more valuable insights on personal finance, business, and startups.